and he loved it. He kept sending us pictures in our chat and like videos. And you were there, right? With you were. I mean, you did do some exploring with him.
He did it on his own, and then later we were in this old town neighborhood, and he's like, "All right, Blake, just tell me about Korea." And I'm just babbling. This is the palace where they do the Confucian examination. He loved it, and of course it was also 1 trillion degrees out, so we were all in nice clothes because we had to go to the thing later, and it was swamp, and I was dying, but it was so much fun.
But that's such a good point, though, Andrew. I mean, the thing that I think most people don't realize, especially in these last years that Charlie was with us, was that he was never alone. I mean, the weight and pressure of having to be that celebrity, like, that's a lot. It's a lot to do, and that has an impact on most people. And the one thing I think that was really astonishing about Charlie is he didn't change as a person at all.
He didn't. By the way, he wasn't like the party animal either. Like, so a lot of people get in this role, and I don't know. You see him at clubs, you see them drinking, you see them partying or like enjoying all this stuff. Charlie would go home at like the first instant that was socially acceptable for the programming. Like at America Fest, maybe the program didn't get over until 7:30. He would go straight home back to the hotel as soon as he could, after meeting with donors or supporters.
Yeah.
And he would do a circuit of like 4 stops, 5 stops, meet with donors, and then he'd go straight back to be with Erica, like immediately.
And his personality never changed. His demeanor never changed. I mean, his busyness level was never different. He was always busy in different ways throughout his career, throughout the time that as he grew. But the thing that was always really difficult, that I was really worried about him, was that you're never having that reprieve from the public eye or being able to go out and just do normal things. And the one thing I really appreciate about Erica and you guys, actually specifically that are here with Andrew and Blake, because you guys spent a lot. When he did have alone time, it was with you, and so it was like that was as alone as he got, or with Mikey, and he got to do some normal things in that way, right? Which was like going to the Cubs game.
He was always just the kid from Chicago,
and wanting to be,
he always was.
and wanting to eat at the restaurants. Like, I'll always remember, again, just after we had a long day of doing something extraordinarily exhausting, and I felt like it was like 10 p.m. And you guys know this. Like, Charlie loved to just go sit down and break bread and eat.
By the way, the way he would order was hilarious. He'd sit down, we'd be at a restaurant, and be like, 4 or 5 of us gathered around, and he would take the menu and go, give us some of this, some of this, some of this, some of this, some of this. Get these out for shareable plates. You guys are going to love this. You're going to love this. Trust me. And then he would go, and can I get some hot sauce and olive oil and some salt and pepper, please? Thank you. Yeah. It was like he would order like a crazy person, like 15 items, and then so you're just like, I guess I'll just eat what Charlie's having, and the table would be filled, and he'd be like, get some more of this. You're gonna love that. Eat some more of that.
And then everybody's around eating, talking, again, kind of decompressing from whatever the crazy was that you're going through, whether it was the travel or the event or the donor meeting or whoever or whatever you're doing, the show, the speech, the rally, the activist event. That was the consistent thing, is that you got that opportunity to sit down and then you talk, and then it wasn't just talking about nonsense. It was usually talking about big ideas and having the conversation similar to like what we have on Thought Crime. So like, if you as an individual out in the world, and I don't know if you agree with
Thought Crime was probably the closest videoed version of what it was like to kind of like hang out with Charlie.
Yeah,
and
that was sort of like
more distracted.
That was sort of like our
Yeah.
We used to joke about it because it was like our group chat on camera.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what it was like to sit down with Charlie, like in a scenario where it's like you're sitting there talking about, there's these things going on, these topics, and like everybody's going around the horn, just like, talking about it, debating it, and you say, isn't that interesting? Or like, you get into it, and ideas would spark, and he'd do that smile, and he would think about it.
My favorite, I was just sharing with Daisy that my
Rest in
favorite
peace, Charlie Kirk.
segments in Thought Crime were. Yes, that was the point. was when we would explain memes to him.
Yeah, just like Charlie's like entire knowledge of pop culture froze when he was 17.
Yeah, like Charlie, you don't know what a bonus hole is, Charlie?
I don't use that one.
Or just
Riz.
whatever the
How about
Riz.
Riz? When we
What is
explain
Riz?
Riz.
No, I'm not gonna get into it. I just mean like whatever the thing was that was going around. He'd be like, is that good? Yes. No. Okay.
Yeah, it's just
You
good.
know, it's just good.
He just wanted the binary, like
Yeah,
it's
he's
a good thing or a bad thing.
Remember the JD Vance memes?
Yes.
When the
He
JD
did-
Vance memes came out, you're like,
Yes.
are they making fun of JD? Kind of.
Sort
But
of.
in a good way.
Sort of. In a good way. Is it good? Yes.
Charlie didn't necessarily speak meme fluently or natively, but he understood the power of them. I have a story I just want to
No,
share.
he loved him. He loved
yeah,
him.
he loved them. I have a story I want to share from Emma on our team. She said the night after the election, Charlie wrapped the stream and came out to the bullpen and sat and ate his dinner with the team and told us stories about the behind-the-scenes work he was doing that nobody knew about for like 2 hours. It was one of my favorite CK memories of all time. He told us how much we can trust JD as vice president and the work he did to get him to that spot. It's really beautiful.
Charlie had the thing that makes me the saddest about Charlie's passing and that he was ripped away from us so abrasively is that man had probably a library of books to write about the things that he knew that have gone to rest with him, things that he saw that are really interesting for politics. Because again, piggybacking on that, you sat down with Charlie, he could tell you about things that nobody knows. I mean, there's things that we know. There's memories that I have that I can tell you, and I when the time's right, at some point, I hope that I can share some of these stories that come out. Andrew has a gazillion of them. Blake, since you've been traveling, Jack knows these things because he lives this lifestyle every day. But
And that's what I mean
there
about
are things
stuff that
I'm sad that we'll never hear.
I don't want. Like we can't. You know what I mean? I just can't.
I can't process.
Because people were like sharing text messages, and I was going back and look at some of the ones that I have, and I was like, can't share that, can't share that, can't share that.
Or where do
can't
you
share
even
that.
begin?
No, I know. The Riz one is funny. Like, we should probably put that up.
That's why I brought up the memes, because like
Daisy,
that's
put the
stuff I
Riz
can
one.
talk about.
Put the
but-
Riz one up. This is funny. This is like perfect Charlie. And so I always like to like hound Charlie a little bit, and it looks like I was making fun of the cough drop.
What's up,
because
Flipper?
The
How you
cough,
doing,
by the way,
Flipper?
that was the one thing that
His Zyn
South
cough
Park,
drops, right?
The South Park, yeah, people thought it was Zyn when he was on campus and he would pop the cough drops in. So welcome to the inside chat, guys. This is about as close up as you can get, and I would be like, actually, Charlie, I love the cough. It makes you look really cool. Like when you're like popping, you got this kind of like nonchalant look when you're just popping the cough drop. And Daisy says everyone thinks his cough drops are Zins, and I was like nicotine cough drops, and Charlie, ha 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 ha. And I go, Charlie's Riz secret. For the record, it's a great Riz crutch, makes you look nonchalant, plus the athleisure wear versus the suit. Charlie goes, what is Riz? And I go, like swagger. And Blake has to go, charisma.
No, but no question mark, right? What is Riz?
What is Riz? What is Riz, period?
Is it good?
It's probably because he was hosting a show or something, yeah.
But that was always his follow-up, though. Is it good?
Is it good?
Is this good?
We have one more caller I want to get to, and that is Julie. Julie, hopefully you're still with us. The floor is yours.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm Julie. This is me letting Charlie inspire me to be more joyful, bold, and brave. I'm calling instead of emailing. Calling is the scariest thing in the world.
Says rest in peace.
So
Yes,
I
Charlie
learned
Kirk.
about Charlie after he followed
50% says no comments.
Bannon on Rap.
67%
I
say
listen to
no.
his podcast
50.
every morning
67
on my
says
watch.
yes.
I love thought crimes and
33% says no
glimpse that gives
comment.
you into the
Okay.
secret world of men. I was glued to the Rumble late night election coverage. I was blessed to see Charlie interact with college students at Normal, Illinois when he was here this spring. I was so afraid to go because I thought there's no mute button because I'm kind of like Bannon, like on the cold open, stop, I can't take anymore. But I didn't need it because Charlie was just fantastic. And then lastly, I'm most thankful for Charlie for introducing me to Jack Hibbs and the Real Life Network and reinvigorating my faith. Thank you.
Beautiful. Well said, Julie. Thank you for calling
Thank
in
you for sharing that, Julie.
and sharing that. And your bravery was rewarded. And by the way, I want to say this: like people describe Charlie as fearless. He wasn't fearless. He was courageous. he looked fear right in the eye, and he overcame it again and again and again. And I can tell you how many moments I spent with Charlie in this behind the scenes and quiet before he walked out on stage, or before he had to tackle something or a setback, bad news. And Charlie just looked at the fear right in the eye, and he knew there was no way but through, and he just was so courageous, and he just did it. And he always won. He always won. He won, and he kept like coming back, and he was stronger and fiercer, and frankly, I think I said this to Erica yesterday. I said, probably for the last 2 years, I knew Charlie actually was fearless, because he'd overcome so much, and that's pretty great.
He was an absolutely fearless individual. I mean, since the day I met him, and I shared a story yesterday, I won't repeat it, but the times where I had the greatest fear of people, and there's lots of people that fear in politics, and I had this privilege of getting to know what President Trump would label as bad hombres, and Charlie was always the person that said, stand in the pocket, fight these people, fight these people.
I saw him do it to you in our chat too.
Many times.
We have to
Every
wrap. It's been a pleasure to be with the audience. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Blake. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Charlie Kirk. You are our hero, and you always will be.
We love you, Charlie.
We love you.
We love
Culture and Christianity, the Alan Jackson podcast. The least qualified cabinet ever, so we could talk about that. But even if it was just Donald Trump picking his family members, it has nothing to do with the merits of DE. The FBI releasing new images in the search for Kirk's killer.
This comes more than 24 hours after his assassination, and the suspect remains at large.
Authorities also sharing more details about the aftermath of the shooting.
You see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area.
Tonight, the latest from Utah's Public Safety Commissioner Bo Mason releasing security camera footage. Suspect coming down off the roof, climbing down the side of a building after they believe shooting Charlie Kirk.
So here's the still photographs I mentioned. These have been enhanced.
And then releasing enhanced freeze frames from on-campus security video showing that suspect with a triangular image on his baseball cap, a long-sleeve black t-shirt with an American flag and eagle symbol, and a backpack. Investigators asking for the public's help in capturing this suspect, also shown the morning of the shooting on foot in a neighborhood near the campus in video obtained by TMZ.
We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing.
And let's be advised, UVU in Orem has had an active shooter at the Charlie Kirk event. We're getting several calls. We're trying to get more information.
Chilling dispatch audio also released from yesterday morning. While first responders arrived at campus, the suspect had apparently disappeared into those woods. That's where investigators say they recovered a bolt-action, high-powered rifle. It's undergoing forensic analysis. Unfired cartridges reportedly marked with pro-transgender and anti-fascist language. Meantime, Vice President J.D. Vance, a longtime friend, flew to Utah and escorted Kirk's body back to Phoenix, where he lived with his wife and 2 young children.
Damn it,
and
man.
President Trump announcing Kirk
That's
would receive
so
the
sad.
nation's highest civilian award.
I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
And the FBI reminding people there's a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of the individual or individuals responsible.
Now, of course, he's still on the run. This is after there were 2 people that were taken into custody yesterday, soon after the shooting, and then officials said, you know what, this isn't our guy. Now we have these images, this new video Hopefully it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, and those stills and the clothing were very identifiable. So you got to figure someone is going to recognize this guy.
Hopefully we have a name soon. All right. Well, a vigil for Charlie Kirk held tonight in downtown Los Angeles. Supporters gathering at the Federal Building. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf, he's there live with more on how people are remembering Kirk tonight. Matthew?
Well, Marlo, there were a few dozen supporters here tonight outside the Federal Building, many with heavy hearts.
It was evil that made that decision.
A somber, church-like vigil in downtown Los Angeles for conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. A few dozen supporters singing and praying
that you would raise up millions of Charlie Kirks.
The day after Kirk, a father with 2 young kids, was shot dead.
It takes my breath away. If I were, I could hardly breathe. I mean, you know, no one should ever have to go through what Charlie's family is surely going through.
On Wednesday, in front of a crowd of college students in Utah, a shooter fired 1 shot and assassinated Kirk. New surveillance video shows the suspected gunman get away on foot.
You can hate, you can love whoever you want in this country, but if you hate that person, that hatred should never propel you to see their demise.
And the illegal immigrants cut in line.
The conservative influencer viewed by some as controversial. These anti-Kirk protesters earlier this year outside his event at Cal State Northridge. There are people out there that feel like he is divisive. How do you respond to that?
If you really take time to listen to what he has to say, he says it in love, but he speaks truth. And sometimes people feel they're offended. Just like I used to think I was offended before I had Jesus Christ in my heart. Father, you gave us the energy for
supporters now looking up with heavy hearts.
Repent and you ask Christ to come in.
Hoping to carry on Charlie's voice they still hear.
Charlie Kirk has been a very influential figure in my life since I was probably like 13.
I'm still laughing. He got assassinated by a gun, toting white boy. The guy was patently pro-gun and wrote a
that really was the
homophobic
main
joke on his
takeaway
gun.
here tonight. So many people wanting to continue Kirk's message. We're live downtown. Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
So police have arrested the suspect in Charlie Kirk's killing. He's facing at least 3 felony charges, including aggravated murder. The suspect, Tyler James Robinson, is a 22-year-old Utah resident. He allegedly confessed to shooting Kirk to a family member who told a family friend who contacted police. During the investigation, police said they found a bolt-action hunting rifle with a scope and bullet casings inscribed with a bunch of phrases. The suspected shooter was not enrolled in Utah Valley University, where the killing took place. Charlie Kirk was a close ally to President Trump and a prominent conservative voice. We want to hear your thoughts on this and on political violence in America. If you want to share with us in more than just the comment section, we have a link to a Washington Post forum on our...
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Watch this
At
again.
today's press conference, we will hear from Governor Cox, FBI Director Kash Patel,
Look.
and Sheriff Mike Smith. We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bo Mason, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, and local and federal law enforcement partners. Following the remarks today, Governor Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions. Thank you.
I need to go to the store.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger.
But they say he
at
was left
approximately
and they
8:29
had white
a.m.
man fight
on
back
September 10th,
protest like who the
in which
fuck
he
are
is
you
observed on
fighting
video
back
in a
against
plain
yourself?
maroon t-shirt, light
He
colored
got
shorts,
assassinated by his
a black hat
own
with a white
people.
logo, and light colored shoes.
When encountered in person by investigators in Washington
We
County
got
on
him
September
acting
12th,
like they
the
caught
early
Osama
morning
bin
hours,
Laden.
Robinson was observed in
He was hiding in the
consistent
hole.
clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson.
Get away.
Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the message on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there has been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital O-W-O, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow," and a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
What the hell?
We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who's worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point.
Y'all hit them likes, hit them likes.
I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah, but I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes.
What up, OG Sneaks 420?
At 12:39.
What up, my boy?
And secured the scene.
What up, what up, what up? OG Sneaks, appreciate that. We appreciate that. 100. You know we keep 100. Sneaks does it all. W's in the chit chat. Appreciate the 5 likes too. Let's go.
To go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that
How you feel that, OG Sneaks?
Analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF.
Y'all give OG Sneaks 420 and subscribe. And Sneak does it all. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Appreciate the floating hearts.
Local time on 9/11.
Appreciate the floating hearts. In the
shortly
Hyundai.
thereafter, the FBI reward of
All we keep it is one Hyundai.
At 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m.
To the fan, good to see you too also, my boy.
The governor led a press conference last night.
Appreciate you for coming checking me out.
Where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of this suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody.
Man, it's going pretty good. Time. I got, it's going pretty good. I can't complain. Nothing really too interesting happening. I know I got a football game. I got my nephew football game to go to at 7 o'clock tonight. So
with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox,
watching a little football, a little high school football, Friday night lights. You know the vibes.
And I want
Friday
to
night lights.
That this would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver it to Governor Cox and his team.
That's my damn daughter just walked by.
Last night we had a total of approximately 7,000 7,000 leads.
Double tap that screen.
As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake Field Office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call.
They answered that call.
Critically important to our nation. And we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI.
Take me to your leader.
This is a very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said. And we will continue to work with state and local authorities.
Take me to your
develop the
leader.
investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions. And we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Rest now, brother.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated, and a very, very fast-paced investigation. You're looking at people standing up here who are running on, if they got an hour's sleep in the last couple of days, they're probably lucky. It has been very taxing. It has been so impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the collaboration that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal.
Y'all didn't see them. Y'all ain't see what she just had in her
Our
hand.
County Attorney Jeff Gray, who's standing up here with us, has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community, because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support, and you gave it to us. We needed your patience, and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family, because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this. So thank you, everybody, for everybody that have stepped up. We've had such a phenomenal response to this. Thank you.
I also want to give a special thanks to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. Their unwavering support and their commitment to justice is shown true here. And without AG Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the resources they brought to bear, we would not have been able to complete our mission. And I just want to say special thanks. It's an honor to be a part of the Department of Justice.
Thank you again to our incredible law enforcement team who has worked so hard. Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so I hope you'll permit me a moment just to share a few more thoughts about where we are and how we got here, and maybe a little bit of where we go from here. I don't want to get too preachy, but I think it's important that we, with eyes wide open, understand what's happening in our country today. I've heard people say, well, why are we so invested in this? There's violence happening all across our country.
Everywhere. What's up, CeeLo? I don't like that dude, but I also didn't want him to die. I feel the same way. I mean, you know what I mean? I ain't want him to die, man. I ain't gonna say I ain't like the dude. I ain't really know nothing about him. But you know what I mean?
This is certainly about the tragic death, assassination,
Well, I feel you on that. He
of
had
Charlie
good intentions
Kirk.
and good dude
But it is also much bigger than an attack on an
Rest in peace.
individual.
Yeah, that's messed up.
It
Like I
is
said, I
an
don't wish
attack
death on anyone.
on all of us.
Shout out
It
Sneaks
is an
again with the
attack on the
100.
American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals. This cuts to the very foundation of who we are, of who we have been, and who we could be in better times. Political violence is different than any other type of violence for lots of different reasons. One, because in the
What you got
very
going on,
act
CeeLo?
that Charlie championed
How you been? How you been? How you
of
been?
expression, that freedom of expression that is enshrined in our founding documents, in having his life taken in that very act,
CeeLo G from
makes
Texas.
it more difficult for people to feel like they can share their ideas, that they can speak freely. We will never be able to solve all the other problems, including the violence problems that people are worried about, if we can't have a clash of ideas safely and securely. Even, especially those ideas with which you disagree. That's why this matters so much. Over the last 48 hours, I have been as angry as I have ever been.
Later,
As
y'all.
sad
Peace
as I have
out.
ever been. And it was as anger pushed me to the brink, it was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back. I'd like to share some of those, and specifically right now, if I could, I need to talk to the young people in our state, in my state, and all across the country. As President Trump reminded me, he said, you know who really loved Charlie? The youths. And he's right. Young people loved Charlie, and young people hated Charlie. And Charlie went into those places anyway. And these are the words that have helped me. Charlie said, when people stop talking, that's when you get violence. He said, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. Welcome without judgment, love without condition, forgive without limit. He said, always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. A few months ago, I referenced this last night, Charlie posted to social media, when things are moving very fast and people are losing their minds, it's important to stay grounded. Turn off your phone, read scripture, spend time with friends, and remember, internet fury is not real life. It's going to be okay. He again said, when you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to commit violence.
All right, Charlie, on the outside of the old boy house. The outside, he's out. There goes his challenger right there. Oh, snap. There goes the challenger.
Working hard.
I need to go to the store. Oh, so we got a better damn wheels. Yeah. What's up? What's up?
So Caroline, I know it's 10 minutes, but you're just gonna have to give Henry all the cues because I can't hear you or myself with the audio with my earbuds instead. All right, super, thank you.
Let's see. Slow that.
I can't believe my earbuds died. I charged them on the way here. Is this phone a Thunderbolt or USB-C? They told me that's already. I think it's good. Good afternoon from the city of Washington, Utah, 120 miles from Las Vegas. This